all community currencies. We want to take the vision that Bitcoin had early, almost 10 years ago now, that of being a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. And what it was originally intended for was a system of payments that people could be using for everyday purchases. And we, now in the year of 2022, Bitcoin has pivoted towards being a store of value. That's the predominant narrative. And that leaves a vacuum on who's going to be taking up the actual job of facilitating everyday transactions for people all around the world. Intercoin wants to step in and fill in this vacuum with our idea of community currencies and our applications. So if you're interested, head over to intercoin.org or go to community.intercoin.org. That's our online community forum. Go in, join the conversation, and take a look at what it's all about. I'm not going to cover every single application of Intercoin available, but rest assured, we've thought of and we've implemented a lot of these applications. Okay, so once again, intercoin.org and community.intercoin.org. Go ahead and head over. With that, I'll give it back to Stacy to run through the rest.
Thanks, Norman. My name's Stacy Brown. I've been with the team for about 6 months now. I'm part of building the community. So basically, we are working on gathering people that have the same principles as us and the same vision to actually make these crypto go mainstream by building community coins and bringing all this together. So we have a team of people that work together, and we're basically just our community forum and getting the word out there of what we're about to do. Our app will be out soon. Some people are more visual and they have to see what we can do. So we'll be soon showing that off, and everyone will be able to see what's new with that. Alina, do you want to introduce yourself? She's one of our advisors.
Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Elena Rivers. I am one of the advisors on the Intercoin team. I am based in UK. Originally, I'm from Russia, and at the moment, my focus is to provide facilities for different companies to introduce Intercoin platform and Intercoin different apps to help companies and to help communities around the world to find the way how they can mint their own coin and to create their own communities. Well, today is the special day for us because we have Intercoin's business partner, India Blockchain Alliance, and the founder of India Blockchain Alliance, Raj Kapoor, with us on a call. And we really respect Raj, and we would like to hear more about his advancements. Opportunity for other members of the team to speak as well. We have on a call with us Alicia Anglin. She is our social media and also our connection to artists. She is an NFT artist herself, and she's professional abstract artist. And also we have our representative from Australia, head of our ambassador program in Australia, Philip, with us. And later on, we will introduce you to other speakers in the program. Please, Alicia, introduce yourself as well.
Thanks, Elena. I'm Alicia Anglin. Like Elena said, I'm an abstract artist. I've been an abstract artist for quite some time now. I joined the Intercoin team back in November of last year, so very excited to be a part of that. I'm going to be working on the NFT and the community side of things along with Stacy, and I'm very excited about it. I'm ready to go with this movement with the Intercoin community coins, as well as everything that we have to offer with NFT Remix, which will also be coming out fairly soon. I know that recently Intercoin had their NFT smart contract release, so very excited about that. That was an update on the software development, as well as there's going to be some really great things going on with our smart contracts for NFTs, such as making them secure, gasless, cheap, flexible, and also being able to actually remix NFTs. But I know that the show is not about that today. That's just my kind of take on things. And I just wanted to share that very briefly. But yeah, just looking forward to, working with the team, with the core team and getting everything going, and looking forward to the app coming out. So thanks for having me again, and looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say today. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. Philip, could you please introduce yourself? What is your focus at the moment? Thank you. Okay, it looks like we have some technical difficulties on Philip's side. Well, in this case, please, Raj, let's begin our conversation. Please introduce yourself.
Sure. Thanks, Lena. Thanks, guys. Good to be here again. I think I was here a couple of months back, and good to be here again in the community. My name is Raj Kapoor, and I'm the founder of the India Blockchain Alliance. Basically, we've now become India's largest think tank, which revolves and talks about and evangelizes the multiple applications of blockchain, crypto, NFT, now the metaverse as well, Web3. Yeah, we speak a lot on this subject. We speak to the governments, we speak to private enterprise, to corporates, and we do a lot of work in skilling our youngsters, because if you've got to have blockchain, you've got to have adoption, you've got to have the resources. So India has very strong resources as far as IT is concerned. So we are building a very large skill pool of developers, smart contract writers, NFT creators, and so on. The idea is to make it fun for everybody. And I'd love to speak a little more whenever we get a chance. So here's my chance to speak to you today. I'm enjoying that part. So feel free to ask me anything. We do a lot of work with a lot of our partners like Intercoin, lots of others from different parts of the world, from Australia, Canada, United Kingdom, USA, Singapore. So we work with them, helping them navigate Indian markets as well, letting them make sense of what's happening in the blockchain space in India. Also, I work very closely now with the government on the crypto policy, which is still, on the sidelines right now. No decisions made. Doing a lot of work in that space also, and now doing a lot of work in the community coin space also. Actually, speaking about that and making the communities in India, and mind you, India's got a hell of a lot of communities, making them understand the value of community, the value of coins, and how in this tokenized economy we can leverage that. So that's a little introduction from my side, folks. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Raj. I know that you're not just advisor to several blockchain companies, but also you're accomplished tech innovation professional. Can you please tell us a little bit more about your certified Bitcoin professional career? What is your blockchain solutions, and you architected some solutions. Can you please a little bit more give us information about your professional background, and how did you receive it? Where did you receive it, and what do you do with it?
I'll just go back a few years. Actually, I'm very closely associated with blockchain now. It's been almost 11 years now. I actually started off in 2010, end of 2010. And that time I had no clue what I was doing, frankly speaking. It was a little bit of mining on the side, yes. But bottom line is, I started understanding that there is something much more to the technology than just the Bitcoin. It started doing a little deep dive into what we could do beyond the coin. Got into a lot of research work, worked with some really cool guys in the past who actually made me understand what is blockchain. I mean, Everything till before that was just a little bit of speculation. So as I always say, my journey started with speculation, but then turned into the blockchain, which is a revolution. So I always have traversed this journey beautifully. Research has been my forte, do a lot of research. I write a lot of curriculum for our youngsters to understand the intricacies of blockchain. I actually create a lot of projects for them, a lot of use cases for them, and also work with multiple partners from across again to create cross-sectional, cross-vertical solutions in the blockchain space. Right now, working very closely with the government of India on the central bank digital currency project as well. That itself is something like a community coin, but not really. It's a central coin, of course. But yes, doing a lot of work in that. I'm also working with, in India, they're going to have, if the policy and when the policy comes in, we're going to have the security, just like you have the SEC in the United States, we have the SEBI in India. That's the Security and Exchange Board of India. Right now, they're the watchdog for the, for the stocks and shares in the stock market. But they're going to be also be given the mandate to them on creating their framework, the SOPs, and a system where they can do a lot of monitoring and also training them in the blockchain space. So that's my current assignment. In between, I've done a lot of work, especially in land registry. We're creating a unique digital ID for land registry right now for a couple of governments, and working with them also on smart policing solutions. We've created a whole bunch of smart forensics, smart policing solutions, and we're rolling them out across 6 or 7 states as we speak right now. So that's something else that's very exciting. Doing a lot of suggestions which we have actually submitted to the government have now gone towards making policy. That's in the agri sector, so which we are very proud of that. And for 2 communities now, I am actually preparing the framework, and it's difficult for them to understand because communities in India are not so tech savvy, not all of them. Making them understand the value of Intercoin and working on a white paper which they would like me to submit to them on what value Intercoin or a community coin can bring to them. So that's all. I got my hands full right now. Also working very closely with one of my friends here. I can see him there. I think Eric. Eric is doing some great work in this space as well. He's got a classic community coin, I would say. He's got a coin for artisans, and I'm working with him very closely now. Just joined him and working with him to create you can call it a community coin, yes, for artisans from all walks of life, from India, Nigeria, Cambodia. It can come in from anywhere. We're creating that as well. So I can see Eric somewhere. I saw him in the beginning. So Eric, if you're listening, great job, guys.
Thank you.
Wonderful. We are really impressed to hear your updates, Raj, and especially because when we had our last conversation, there was a very big question whether India will ban the cryptocurrencies. And now with the all changes and you're helping government, that's really fantastic to hear. And especially in this case, it looks like cryptocurrencies can affect regular people' personal life, isn't it? What is your view? Whether people are brave enough to live in a new crypto world? What's happening on the ground? What do you hear around?
I'll tell you, India loves cryptocurrencies, no matter what people look at it, which maybe the government is not so sure about it, but the Indians love cryptocurrencies. We have about 15 million people who have crypto wallets, and that's growing by the day. And not only that, the largest section of people that come onto it are not from tier 1 or major cities. They are from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. That has been a paradigm shift in the thought processes over the last 2 years I've seen. The very conservative tier 2 and tier 3 are walking happily into the crypto space. Lots more blockchain startups coming up here. On last count, there were more than 350 plus which got added on last year itself. Lots more funding coming in, plenty of ICOs. There is a lot of action happening in India, and it's just we're on the ground floor of it right now. So yeah, everybody loves crypto here. I prefer the blockchain as a technology, but yes, crypto is a part of it, so you cannot decouple it. So you enjoy both of them. So we're enjoying the ride, and the ride's just started. Last time the government has, if you read the policy now, the title of the policy is no longer banning the cryptocurrency. It is regulation of cryptocurrency. So that has been the major shift from the word ban to the word regulation. That's been a journey. It's not been an easy one, but it started.
That's really good to hear. Thank you. As you've been already involved in exciting journey of cryptocurrencies, what is your actual personal view on Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin had a lot of changes, including dramatic price rise and collapse in 2017-18. But what makes 2022 different? And what is your perspective on the Bitcoin rise?
My personal opinion about Bitcoin. I'm not a big fan of Bitcoin, really. It just doesn't serve any purpose as far as I'm concerned. Yes, it has its plus minus. It's very exciting. It's a roller coaster. Everybody enjoys that. Yeah, it's a little bit of fun. But yes, the only important thing what it does, it actually gives impetus to the rest of the currency. So I give it that credit. So it's the big boys of the crypto world. Yes, it's been a market leader. It's shown the way, and it's proved something to a lot of people. So I give it respect, but I'm not a big fan of Bitcoin. I am, however, a fan of tokens and other cryptos which actually have a purpose. And I think they all need to coexist. So I cannot say that Bitcoin is useless. It's absolutely not. It's got its values, intrinsic values. But I think there are lots more coins and tokens which have much more intrinsic value, and probably a lot of them are still, the ground floor opportunity for a lot of people. So that's what I think. Bitcoin 2022, right now, we all see it hovering around 40K, and everybody wondering which way is it gonna swing. Well, folks, it's gonna swing upwards. That's for sure. That's my personal opinion. We have heard, experts talk about touching 100K, etc. Well, we hear experts talk a lot of things, but it doesn't always happen. But it did touch 65K, 66K some time back. And that itself is a proof that, yes, it's there. The pendulum swings. Let's see which way it rides now. But I think 2022 is going to be a very defining year. Lots more countries trying to take out the CBDCs. Lots more countries experimenting there. Lots happening in the crypto space. Many more people coming into this crypto space. I think there will be an upward movement, Bitcoin and other currencies. Right now, a little bit of a bear zone. That's fine. That's in any investments, you'll find that. But that's the way it is. Investments go through their cycles. This is probably one of them. The SEC and the Feds not making the decisions or being a little tough on decisions, not really helping. Russia, Ukraine, not really friendly, not making it very, immediately. No immediate solutions coming there. Bear market is in right now. But 2022 is going to be year of the crypto. Notwithstanding.
Excellent. Yes, thank you. So, do you think that cryptocurrencies brings economic impact on communities? What is the changes for communities would be? What would be the bridge for the 2022 for economic impact or social impact of cryptocurrencies?
I think Bitcoin actually also has a good side where it brings a lot of unbanked population slowly into mainstream population. And I'm seeing that happening where people can actually, transact, etc. And many more people are transacting now because they have the opportunity. So we need to have a right balance of where we can use cryptocurrency. The community coins actually finds that. I think it's got the right balance out there. Intercoin doing some great work in this space. And I think the more we have our communities adopting different of their own tokens, I think that'll be a great move forward. A small community, for example, I'm working also very closely with a friend of mine here. His name is Darren Tan. He started a beautiful, initiative called the Digital Arts for Social Impact, called DASI. I think that's a small way of seeing how we can bridge the gap between the crypto impacting from a social impact, helping children get more education, reaching out to them and creating a major social impact. And that's being done through a series of NFTs. I think that's a real change coming in. Many more people, many more projects coming in, which are actually trying to create changes for their community, impact for the community. So I think we gotta let Bitcoin take its course, because that is one of them, is the market leader for other currencies. So that's there. So community coins coming in big. In India, for example, we have a lot of underprivileged communities which are looking at a community coin with real interest, especially because, when I was talking in one of the early conversations with Elena and Greg, we talked about the Rohingyas project, and I think that was really cool. And it's helping uplifting a community, and that's exactly what we're doing. Not only here, I'm planning to do that in Africa as well, where I work extensively, especially in Nigeria. Also with Darren, maybe in Cambodia and a couple of other places. Impact, empowerment, that's what community coins are going to give these guys. They're going to give them a good shot in life and become more mainstream.
Excellent. Great to hear that. And in terms of how Intercoin can help these community coins, what is your perspective? Do people understand the possibilities of Intercoin development projects, of Intercoin's apps? What is your perspective on the view, or to connect us?
Okay. See, when I started speaking to Intercoin, and you and Greg, I felt the connect, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing in India with Intercoin. Otherwise, there are so many coins come, so many projects come. We don't align with every one of them. It doesn't make any sense. Some do. This one did. As I told you, India has communities. Today, there are more than 100 communities in our country. There are more than that. Not only that, there are there are communities, and there are scheduled castes, what we call them, scheduled tribes, backward tribes, etc., etc. Here is here's the place where they can get a shot at getting ahead, or getting at par with the rest of the world, rest of the country at least. Like as I said, the Rohingya project is a classic example of how actually you can you can uplift a nation, uplift a community. And here we have lots of them which don't have access to even basic education, basic healthcare, basic clean water. Now, they may not understand the impact what a crypto coin or any other community coin can make in their lives, but their leaders, the people who are more educated within the communities, they are coming forth. And you'll be very happy to know that every month we have a session where different community members and their leaders are invited, and we explain to them and show them what we can do for them, what a community coin can do for them, what Intercoin is doing for them. We give the example of the Rohingyas. We also show them how they can be empowered. And that is becoming a slow, but definitely a strong march forward. We empower communities, we empower our nation. And we in India, for example, have a lot of communities that need empowerment. That's a big, big step for them. A step which they had never had an idea before could really work for them. Things are working for them now. They're getting really big in it. And as I told you, tier 2 and tier 3 cities are really warming up to this. Elena, whenever you speak to me, I'm generally traveling. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm spreading the message. I'm explaining them what I have at least 4 sessions every month when I go and address different communities and talk to them about this. So lots of traction in this space. And we'll see a lot of action going forward in 2022, that's for sure.
I'm really pleased to hear that. Yes, actually, today we expected that Greg would be with us on a call, but he is traveling too. And we would have a lot of updates from CEO of Intercoin, because in the last 2 weeks, he traveled over 3 different continents and right now still on the way to get back to US.
Right.
Well, it's the view of international business, and we had many updates today from other guests, And I can see that we have Mike Bennett with us on the call. I would love to give him a chance to talk and to give some time to ask questions. Maybe, Mike, when you ready, you can unmute yourself and please introduce yourself, and you can talk with Raj about your vision for the Intercoin as well.
Oh, thanks, Elena. Yes, hi. Thanks for having me. So I'm Mike Bennett. I kind of work in standards, and I also do a business, what they call kind of business models of things. And so I look at that, all those kind of things like compliance and risk. And I come from like a finance background. So yeah, I'm kind of still learning more about Intercoin, but like Raj, I'm more interested in the not the sort of Bitcoin currency bubble things, but the real practical applications of these technologies, not only in currencies, but in the things you can do with immutable data and stuff like that. But yeah, when we've been working on I do some work with the object management group representing various people for standards work, and we've been building this kind of business model we call an ontology, a representation of reality around money and currency in order to define cryptocurrency, and we're starting to look at central bank digital currencies and so on. And so trying to firm up the meanings of concepts like what is a store of value versus a means of exchange, versus payment system, what is value itself, and so on. I work with a lot of ontology researchers on how we define all these concepts around money and currency and stuff, and then yeah, kind of interested in how we kind of standardize some of those definitions of concepts so that we're all speaking the same language. You can have a common language for smart contracts, which is something else I've been looking at, so that you improve interoperability and supply chain management and all those kind of things. So anyway, that's me. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mike. Do you have any questions to Raj, or would you like to connect after the call to discuss some possibilities of working with supply chain? Because as I can see, there is plenty of different solutions that Raj is working on the ground in India, potentially would be able to help you. You can help him with the projects as well.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I've got connections in Africa myself. Originally grew up in Zimbabwe, so I'm always interested. I don't know West Africa so well, but I'm always interested in some of the stuff that's coming out of East Africa and so on. And there's a lot of potential there. So yeah, interesting to hear all the stuff you were saying, Raj.
Yes, thanks. We're doing in fact 2 projects with the government of Nigeria, especially in one. But one of them is part of this is supply chain. That's for sure. So that's very interesting as well. We can get in touch anytime, no problem. Bye.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm also aware of another group in Kenya working on supply chain using. There's a crypto thing called IOTA that I work with on the standards side that are a very different type of underlying ledger, but it's some very interesting stuff going on there. But I'm not directly involved with that work, but perhaps there's some connections there we could explore.
Excellent. Sounds great. Thank you very much. Well, Raj, as you said, we have Eric on the call. Maybe Eric would like to introduce Afoma and to talk a little bit more about the project, about your recent partnership contract. It sounds very interesting.
Eric, that's nice. Yes, I can see Eric there, right? Hi, Eric, speak up.
Hey, Raj. Hey, everyone. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak about Afoma. So Afoma is a blockchain company that's leveraging our own community token or community coin to drive an ecosystem. And our vision is more around, as Raj pointed out, around artists and artisans across the marginalized regions, but we are not exclusive. We are open to the global market as well. Just a bit of the context of how Afoma came to be. I run a not-for-profit organization here, registered here in Canada, but we do work around poverty, education, and health in sub-Saharan Africa. And I wanted to create an opportunity where we can enable communities across Africa and across the globe, frankly. And that led me to start doing a bit of research around what these communities could, how we can enable these communities. And I stumbled upon an article that talked about how 65% of the handicraft market comes from developing regions, but a significant chunk of these individuals or these artisans still remain in poverty. And usually the impact of how business is being conducted in these regions. We have B2B business models that buy in bulk for cheap and then go out to high income countries and sell. Or we have digital platforms that people in these regions just can't afford to list their products on. So we decided to take a different approach to that. And it's all about enabling communities. So our vision was to build an ecosystem that will be driven by our community coin, which is Afoma. And our ecosystem will enable a blockchain integrated decentralized e-commerce handicraft marketplace, which is called Cellitic. And we'll also be launching an NFT marketplace as well within our roadmap. Our vision is to promote heritage and culture within these communities and to give them the opportunity to enable financial freedom. We all know that the NFT marketplace is heavily saturated today, but we are trying to create a niche opportunity where we can educate and enable these communities within their regions, where a lot of the digital artists can project their culture, their heritage, their passion, their vision within their own or their everyday experiences within their community, and present that to the global market, to the global NFT market. And we'll be building our own metaverse as well. The metaverse today is, as we know, is a buzzword that people are tagging that to be the future of the internet. And as we don't want Africa and the rest of these developing regions to be left behind. And my vision is to actually create accessibility to our metaverse. And we are bringing out a very unique proprietary tech that will enable us to actually achieve that, where we can project our metaverse leveraging smartphone technology. VR headsets are definitely not affordable in these regions. So we have to definitely find ways to actually allow these people to partake in the future of technology. So we are definitely going to be building out something very unique, very exciting within our metaverse, which is called Afoma Land. And that's how we want to actually provide opportunities for inclusion and fairness to these communities. And imagine if we had the opportunity where we can bridge gaps, where we intend to, for example, project our handicraft marketplace within our metaverse, and still enable the opportunities where these artisans can still benefit from future technology, which is pretty much what we might be looking at in a decade from now. And the opportunity as well to enable children who are in Africa, the Caribbean, or Southeast Asia, the opportunity for them to engage with a teacher in a different continent through the metaverse, enable opportunities for individuals who are going through mental illness to be accessible to doctors in high income countries who are looking to volunteer their time, but just can't afford, but have the opportunity to travel to provide those services, right? So at the end of the day, we have to find projects. We have to leverage with projects or do projects that enable fairness and enable inclusion, and that's what Afoma is designed to do. And I am very excited about what the future holds for community tokens. I agree with Raj in terms of the Bitcoin from a Bitcoin perspective, I am also not a fan of Bitcoin, yes, but he has set the precedence of where what cryptocurrency is all about. I think, unfortunately, the vision that Bitcoin was supposed to deliver has now metamorphosed into something else that it's not supposed to, or what it was supposed to be intended for. We're now seeing a lot of benefits around Bitcoin going more towards the 1% of individuals across the globe. People can't participate in what these cryptocurrencies are designed to offer. And unfortunately, the players within that space are not doing enough to actually show the true value of what community coins can actually offer. So yes, I am not a fan of it, but as Raj pointed out, I do respect the token, absolutely, or the cryptocurrency and what it's done or what it has achieved over time. But yes, we definitely have to find partnerships and opportunities, and people have to understand and see the opportunity of what cryptocurrencies or other cryptocurrencies or community tokens have to offer, because for me, that is really the future of decentralization. That is the future of inclusion, and we need to be paying more attention to that. So thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Eric. It's a real pleasure to hear all your plans. And I'm sure that our NFT artist, Alicia, is jumping from excitement to hear what you're doing. Alicia, please unmute yourself and tell us more what are you doing with NFTs, and what are your plans with NFT Remix, and maybe your view how Intercoin can help a farmer.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
Loud and clear.
Just wanted to make sure. We have bad weather over here right now, so I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, so what I've been working on, actually, I've been doing a collaboration with another artist. So traditionally, I do physical paintings, abstract paintings, and me and Nancy, also known as All Alone NFT1, that's her username, we have combined both of our talents through the traditional and digital art worlds. And what we're doing actually with our new collaboration is she makes the digital painter chicks, and what I'm doing is putting the background as my abstract art. So it's very cool. So just starting with that, we've got a lot of things going on with that right now. We've already sold like 8 pieces, so it was really exciting to start that project with her, because it's something different and something that hasn't been done yet. So combining both worlds. So I always say, you know, not tooting my own horn or anything, but, you know, Picasso and Brock, you know, that's how they kind of started Cubism. You know, they both were basically working really hard. You know, I always bring that up in the studio, and that's who created that. So we're just trying to do something a little different for the NFT side of things. So just really excited about that. And NFT Remix, looking forward to that, because that's going to be a collaboration area as well. There's going to be a lot of things. I don't know much of the details, Elena, on NFT Remix, other than the fact that I know that we'll be able to take an NFT and basically remix it into a, you know, somebody could remix it into another piece. Basically, it could be used for things for like Hollywood, for fashion, for the fashion industry, as well as I believe tickets, and also art in itself, whether it's digital or traditional. So just a lot of different things going on. So I definitely think that, you know, as everything is evolving, it's going to change a lot of things in the NFT and the art world. It's evolving very quickly right now. So yeah, just really excited. And I loved hearing everything that you had to say. I'm just it's a lot to take in, because every day we're just learning so many new things, and it's a lot. As a regular traditional artist, I can't keep up with the computers and the evolution of the NFT space. It's been amazing, but it's definitely a lot to take in. So I'm just really excited about what you have going on and what I have going on. It's going to be really cool to see where everybody is in another few years too. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Alicia. The reason why I brought up Alicia after Eric, because it reminds me, Eric, everything what you've been saying about artisans in Africa didn't receive the actual payments enough for their work. And the same was with traditional artists. I heard so many times that if artists have enough money, he is not an artist. This is the very, very wrong beliefs. And this is very wrong when people who actually created the art have less money than people who sell their art. And I am very excited to hear that Intercoin is about to change that with NFT Remix. And we would be happy to help you, Eric, with your infrastructure for your metaverse and with our flexible smart contract on NFTs. Smart contracts already have been deployed on 3 different blockchains, on Matic, with BNB, and also with Ethereum. So we would talk probably offline and we will discuss details how we can help you to roll out your project as quick as possible. And also, we have another professional person in metaverse world and NFT world, Matthew, on the call with us. Matthew, what is your opinion about Afoma, what you heard today, and how do you think we can help Afoma to go forward with their project, and what is your opinion on the current NFT world mix, what's happening around? Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, yes, I'm here. Hi, Elena. Thanks for offering me the floor. Just to give everyone a little bit of a background about myself. I'm a decade-long crypto enthusiast, so I've been in the space for a long time. I created my own mining company back in 2014, I want to say. Exploring the early days of shared ownership of the means of production. So what we did was we offered customers the chance to own a stake in our GPU for a period of time. They were entitled to vote for what that was used for, whether they wanted to use it gaming, and they were welcome to join me doing so, but this was kind of a workaround. So they were able to make suggestions for usage, but truth be told, it was for the sole purpose of to be seen as democratic ownership of the processing power. And 100% of people chose cryptocurrency mining, but it was a way to not be strictly a financial service provider and to be doling out cryptocurrency. It was a democratic thing, and that was kind of the early days of what cryptocurrency was for me. So, I mean, when bringing it to NFTs, I've been involved with the first NFT project to reach meaningful scaling on Ethereum, which is Gods Unchained, which was released in 2019 by Immutable X, who have recently partnered with GameStop, and that company in itself is the product of a partnership with a company called Starkware, which they pioneered zero knowledge proofs as a way of increasing Ethereum's scaling capabilities to, rein in the prohibitive gas fees that we are all aware of. So my company, Inverse Functions, we're kind of seeking to capitalize and get out ahead of the whole NFT play-to-earn gaming revolution, with events in London discussing the latest developments in that space and kind of helping people get to grips with this new paradigm of playing and digital ownership of in-game assets, right? So I'm kind of focused on utility-based NFTs that work in the background and serve as digital property and ownership. So, for example, Immutable X that I just mentioned, behind Gods Unchained, it's huge. It has hundreds of thousands of players, and I'm one of the first, I think, tens of thousands. I'm in the early days, but they have 20 million NFTs currently, being transferred, traded, being produced, being minted. And this is more than all other Ethereum-based NFT projects combined. So they are really a front runner in the space, and they're offering, you know, their API, and they're offering software development kits in future to make this play to earn gaming model more accessible for other gaming companies that might not know where to start, or have that capability in house, or are willing to invest in it, you know. So and I believe that this, you know, this whole gaming and gamification of NFTs and sort of providing that background utility in immersive environments such as, you know, metaverse engagement projects and stuff like that, you know, where, yes, viewing art, but for me, it's more a case of actual, because a lot of people, they discuss the idea of people using digital avatars to flex or as clout in the space. And it's kind of like they're treating gamers as though we only seek to, you know, posture in front of the other. Whereas for me personally, in the example of Gods Unchained, it's solely about utility. Are these NFTs useful in the context of the game? Do they provide me with a benefit? Do they benefit my deck composition? Are they something which actually improves my win rate? You know, that it's not simply, here's this thing that I hope will be worth money, in the sense of, you know, Raj was discussing how Bitcoin has transitioned from being a form of income and something which people will spend into just being a store of value. And this is not what I hope is the future of NFTs. And this is what I seek to educate people on at my NFT events, is that utility is the future of these. Digital ownership is the future of NFTs. It's, for me, it's not about necessarily, while I do see the power of one issuances, and, you know, they do have power, and who's to say that that metadata doesn't become interoperable with another system down the line? You know, another company could choose to honor your ownership, your digital ownership, and give you assets within their game because you own that asset elsewhere, which true interoperability, true what we call hyper collaboration, where, you know, or hyper collaboration, sorry, where two games, you can take, for example, an Axie, which is in Axie Infinity, one of the sort of, I wouldn't say premier NFT games. It's they don't really have the NFT marketplace, and they don't have many game modes, and a lot of their revenue stream just simply comes from the transference of the Axies themselves, which are little axolotls that are able to be battled in sort of an arena. But for me, I like the idea of people participating in multiple acts within the space and driving the value themselves of these items, not simply just aesthetically pleasing yes or no, because it limits, to me, that limits the skill in a game, and it kind of limits what draws people to things when it's simply aesthetics. But, you know, the reason why I wanted to chime in and sort of discuss with Raj or ask him a question was that, for me, the concept of young people learning the cornerstones of decentralized finance by default, and how we'll have this new generation of DeFi natives, you know, in the ecosystem, and these ideas of governance and staking and like equal revenue distribution, or producing your own property within the metaverse, or uncovering it in the sense of like in Gods Unchained, where it's play to earn, or Illuvium, an upcoming project that I'm sure people have heard of, that you go out and you hunt for these digital monsters, much like you do in a game like Pokemon, and their rarity is determined by the game itself, and then their sale price is dictated by that rarity. I think that for me, the large driver in my focusing on NFT marketplaces, such as those pioneered by the likes of Immutable and upcoming titles, is that they have the, you know, the developers are well versed in the virtues of cryptocurrency that no doubt they drew me nearly a decade ago, was this kind of crypto anarchist, upset the current hegemony of finance and sort of deliver a more fair revenue model, which I think, which is again what drew me to Intercoin, is the concept that, the example that I always used to give people was, imagine that there was a cryptocurrency where if you could prove that you were a nurse, for example, or you were even a garbage man, or someone who just provides a degree of value to the community, rather than someone who is simply attending one boardroom meeting per week and racking in a huge bonus at the end of the year. Can we make it so that these people who provide these key worker kind of roles, they receive fair payment through another payment system for their work? And that for me is something that Intercoin does enable in a way, you know. So I mean, my question for Raj is along the lines of this excitement surrounding the idea of allowing communities to adjust and vote how to empower. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I lost you in the.
No, it's okay. Sorry, just rambling on. So yeah, you know, early in Bitcoin, the community demonstrated its desire to fork from the original core protocol and seek alternative governance in the form of Bitcoin Cash, because the core developers didn't vibe with the community anymore. And this idea of, you know, crowd-based returns, and, you know, it's what drew me to Intercoin. And my question is, like, how will you be engaging the next generation of crypto enthusiasts and inspiring that innovation in the space in India, and making sure that they do embody these kind of ideals that Intercoin are pursuing, where, you know, the universal basic income is like a big part of it, and providing communities with strength to spend rather than just speculative investment, or, you know, it has a utility. It's not just gold, effectively.
I agree with you there, because in fact, India is being a very conservative country. People have learned to save here more than anything else. In fact, most people in India are pretty much debt free. So that's one good thing. Now, living in having these, you know, things, these good qualities imbibed in India, and that's one of the things I said. I'm doing 4 sessions in a month, explaining to communities the value of currencies, not currencies, tokens, or cryptocurrencies, whichever, digital virtual currencies, and not to look at them as a taboo, but look at them as a path to progress for the future generation. Because we have a lot of, you know, India's got a huge population, so we got to have a lot of people doing something at some point of time. This is an opportunity for them. And, you know, like FOMA bringing up these artisans, other communities, you're doing a lot of work in folk music for that matter. I'm talking to some people in the different creative crafts and, you know, dying traditions, and reviving them through community coins. Most important, awareness, creating awareness, education, especially with all stakeholders. And that's I think what we're going to be doing, not only now in 2022, but for the next 3 years. We have a plan. We're actually trying to touch every community, and anybody who wants to be in the picture can, you know, jump on the bandwagon with us now. So explaining to them, as you said correctly, it's not about speculation. Let's have some real world solutions. Let's have some real world problems getting solved with that. And that's what we're doing. As IBA, we're doing awareness building at a very massive scale right now. As of today, we must have covered more than 48,000 different people. In last year, we covered over 48,000 youth, which we made them understand. Don't just jump into the sea, you know, you learn to swim first. So getting into the crypto game is easy. Just open a wallet and you're in it. But the awareness, that's more important, and that's critical. We're focusing on that for the youth right now.
Fantastic. I agree with everything you said. You know, it's about that. That's why I'm hoping to do, seeking to do more events, is because you have to set the narrative. Otherwise, people will come into the space. You know, I've heard so many detractors. You know, come to when I first mention NFTs, people will say, "Oh, well, can't you just copy and paste it? It's just a JPEG." And I have to sort of start again and sort of build them up from scratch and say, no, imagine everything that you've bought digitally. Think about the amount of players who spent in 2021. There was $100 billion spent on in-game items. I mentioned this on the last live stream, but it's frightening how normalized it's become that we just don't own our digital assets. And bringing people up to date with that and saying, like, hold on, no, we can use a blockchain to ensure that you have that proof of ownership and proof of anything effectively, you know, and it doesn't have to be trusted. It can be a zero knowledge proof. It can just be as simple as that. It can be done automatically. We can verify you and verify your ownership of an item seamlessly. It doesn't have, you can transfer it between systems. You don't have to go through this idea of well, you stop playing that game. Oh, sorry, everything that you've spent the last few years pouring into is now gone for eternity. You can actually move that forward. You can sell that on to someone else who has value and has utility in those items. And it effectively, you know, the concept of interoperable NFTs. And, you know, if a gaming company were to make an NFT in one game and then 3 years down the line, they launch another game, well, if you own NFTs from that first game that they launched, turns out you get bonuses in the new one and it's transferable. It's that idea of, you know, sequential property usage that is just so exciting to me. And I hope that people will soon hope to grasp that rather than just, you know, refute me by saying, well, can't you just copy and paste it? It's not that simple. It's immutable, as they say. So yeah, amazing to talk to you, Raj. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Matthew. And especially social impact of for communities. Some communities I know in Asia, people have been able to earn substantial income from the games. And that's a beauty of 2022, to find the way how to bridge people with NFTs and people in different metaverses to actual artists on the ground in Africa. And maybe Africa Blockchain Center representative would like to say something about their work on the ground. Callum, would you be able to unmute yourself at the moment? How it is on your side? Is it quiet enough?
Yeah, it's all good. Thanks, Elena. Yeah, I just want to say first, like, hey guys, like all of you, you're doing such amazing work, you know, and I'm not really sure what I can add really except like talk about it, you know, at this stage in the project. But yeah, I would love to help like in whatever way I can. So yeah, my name's Callum. I work at the Africa Blockchain Center in Nairobi in Kenya. We're also moving into Lagos and to Dar es Salaam as well. And we have expansion plans for Rwanda and Botswana as well coming up in the next couple of weeks. And what we've been doing is we've been laying out some of the fundamental infrastructure to build the next generation of blockchain developers and traders and consultants as well within blockchain for business. So we're quite, I suppose our scope is quite wide. But I think at this point it really has to be because we're trying to capture the imagination of the local communities around, say, Nairobi, and trying to get as many people in the door as possible so we can start building a very large development pool. We've been doing a lot of work with like various VCs. I also work for a VC over in Shanghai, and they have been doing a lot of interesting work actually. Raj, I don't know if you know Draper Dragon, they've been doing as well in India too. So basically what I've been doing is trying to connect all the best bits of my ecosystem and just putting it into place over there. The two things that have been described to me that are most important in Africa at the moment in terms of blockchain infrastructure is knowledge transfer and restricted funding. So in that sense, that's basically what I do. I bring community who is able to transfer that knowledge as well as the fundraisers as well. So my role is quite simple. But it's a great space to be in, you know. It's, you know, like sometimes in Europe, I really feel that we're sort of racing to the bottom at the moment, where we are trying to squeeze as much value out of each other for as little as possible, for not even as a handshake. And the feeling that I get when working with all the guys from, well, like continent-wide, the Africa Blockchain Center, is that they really want to race to the top. And they're ready to race to the top as well. And it's just so inspiring and extremely humbling as well to be part of projects like this. So I don't know if I answered your question actually, Elena. I think I might have went off on a wee tangent, but yeah, if anyone wants to prompt me on some things that I've been up to, feel free.
Excellent. Yes, of course. You answer my question because For me, it's very important for us in Intercoin is to hear how people are working on the grounds in different areas and how Intercoin can support with our smart contracts. Because in reality, there is no need to create something what can be used. It's like we've been saying, what's the point to create, to invent the wheel if you can use already invented? And it's the same with NFT smart contracts that can be used by other companies. Intercoin is happy to provide license to use our open source products. And also next week on our same event on Wednesday at 12 p.m. EST time, 5 p.m. UK time, we're gonna have a special time with CEO of Intercoin who would provide information about our progress, because last 2 weeks we had several partnership contracts we will announce, and also we would provide details of the NFT remix, what is actually very exciting news gonna be from Intercoin. I also can see that we have one of our team members, Carter, on the call. We haven't heard from him for a few days. He was on a holiday. So Carter, if you would like to unmute yourself to update what your exciting news, what's happening in the life in Scotland with Intercoin progress, please welcome.
Yeah, sorry, I was late to the show tonight. I've been, as you say, I've been travelling, so I'm not long home. I spent some time in Turkey just there. I was actually going to jump in there. I heard Callum's accent, so it's nice to hear another Scottish accent in this space. It seems to be few and far between.
I know, good times. No, honestly, I know like almost nobody working in blockchain in Scotland, you know.
Nobody.
You know, take your chances, you know. I haven't been home in like 6 years, so just getting out while I can just now, like.
That's it. No, but yeah, so I just for what Elena was saying, I'm obviously working along with the community development team along with Stacey and Alicia and do the social media part of the Intercoin, reaching out to potential customers also. But it's just same again, just it's an exciting time in the space now. We're going to see this technology getting used on a day-to-day basis by everyday people, and it's really exciting just to be a part of Intercoin, and be part of this movement, which it is going to be a movement, and like I said, just change people's lives. And it's not just about using the technology; it's obviously applications that we built on top of the opportunity to do UBI and various other things. It's really have a positive impact on people's lives. So yeah, that's exciting times.
Excellent.
Good stuff. Right.
Thank you very much. Who would like to say something else? Please unmute yourself. If I haven't seen you.
There is this gentleman called Darren Tan here. He's doing some great work in Asia. Maybe he could say a couple of minutes.
Raj, I think Darren is not on the call right now with us. I invited him, but because Darren is actually based in Singapore, and it is very early morning for him.
Yeah, it's midnight for me also, almost midnight for me as well. I can understand.
Yes. Yes, absolutely agree with you. Darren created a very good project also with NFTs to provide school for kids in Cambodia. And at one of our future events, we will introduce Darren's partners on the other call.